Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the SWUS College Basketball Sunday. I'm recording this really early. Normally, I wouldn't be making this video till later on, but we're doing our Valentine's Day thing tonight. There was 13 NBA games on Valentine's Day, so I negotiated. So Valentine's Day is tonight for us. I'm getting this video out while I can. I'm only going to be able to go through like 3 or maybe 4 of the games, but there are a few decent ones. There's actually some action on the board for this Sunday, so let's get it started.
Welcome to the SWUS. The SWUS. SWUS. Hey, get the SWUS.
First up, we got FAU on the road at South Florida. USF is now catching 3.5. The number dropped down from 4. Total sitting at 147.5. Betting trends on the FAU side, just 2-5 against the spread on the road this year. And check this out, 3-10 against the spread in their last 13 overall. On the South Florida side, it's almost the exact opposite. The Bulls are 10-3-1 against the spread at home, and they're 13-4 against the spread in their last 17. So Bulls have been rolling. If we take a look at the recent schedules for these two teams, you can see both of them have been on heaters here. South Florida, a perfect 10-0 in their last 10 games. FAU is 9-1. Their only loss coming on the road to UAB. Strength of schedule edge goes slightly to FAU, 159th to 182nd. So we'll start with the matchup for FAU's offense, and I'd have to give the edge to FAU on this side of the court. Efficient field goal percentage is 72nd to 43rd in favor of South Florida, but look at rebounding, 30th to 276th. I mean, that's such a huge edge. Should be plenty of second chance opportunities for FAU's offense in this game. But check this out. I'm going to pull up the shot charts for FAU's offense in the last 10 games. They've taken a lot of three-point shots, specifically the above the break three. 31.1% of FAU shot attempts in the last 10 have come from above the break. That's a lot, especially for college basketball. That's a lot. Look at USF's defensive efficiency numbers out there. Opponents are shooting just 27.7% against South Florida from above the break in the last 10 games. I like that matchup for USF. And then when we flip it over to the other side of the court and look at the matchup for South Florida's offense, I like the matchup for South Florida here as well. Efficient field goal percentage, 79th to 181st, a nice little advantage in the most important category. Other categories are pretty much even. USF may have problems getting to the free throw line, but other than that, I like the edge for South Florida here. And when we pull up the shot charts on this side of the court, we got to look at the three-point shooting numbers again, because South Florida also a team that takes a ton of threes. 31.7% of South Florida's shot attempts have been above the break threes in the last 10. The difference on this side, FAU's defense isn't top 30 in the country defending them like South Florida is. In fact, they're back at 173rd in defensive efficiency against the ATB3. So I'm definitely on USF here. I'm actually pissed I didn't get in at +4. I grabbed it at 3.5 and put it in the Discord. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, 3.5s are still up. But yeah, South Florida Bulls up next game. Big Ten's up next. We got Purdue on the road in Columbus here. Ohio State is catching 7.5. That's actually down from 8, so the number actually dropped a little bit. Total sitting at 145.5. Betting trends on the Purdue side, just 4-3 against the spread on the road this year. Just 2-3 against the spread in their last 5 overall. 8 straight wins for Purdue. On the Buckeyes side, this team just has not played well on their home court this year. Just 4-9-1 against the spread at home. Basically, since conference play started, Ohio State's just been struggling, to put it delicately. Just 2-9 straight up in their last 11 games. They are 3-1 against the spread in their last 4, so they covered a few numbers recently. We can give them that. To be honest, I'm not even going to go deep into the numbers on this one. I'm kind of limited on time, and I mean, I don't really have a ton of interest in this game. It's such an insane mismatch in basically every single statistical category. I'll pull up the three-point shooting numbers for Purdue here offensively. Purdue, top 5 in efficiency from above the break and corner, so both three-point shots. Purdue's top 25 in efficiency. Look at Ohio State's defense against the 3-ball in the last 10 games. 348th and 362nd. They've been getting lit up from out there. So I don't see any reason to try to take a shot with Ohio State plus the points. I guess I'll say Purdue minus 7.5. I didn't bet this. Not sure if I will. Next game. Northwestern on the road in Indiana. We're sticking in the Big Ten. Hoosiers laying 1.5 at home. The total sitting at 137.5. Betting trends on the Northwestern side, 5-2 against the spread in their last 7, 3-4-1 against the spread on the road this year, and get this, 5 straight road losses for Northwestern. But on the other side, trust me, Indiana isn't exactly setting the world on fire. They're just 2-5 in their last 7 themselves. They're 5-5 against the spread as home favorites this year. So let's look at the recent schedules for both these teams. Strength of schedule, dead even, 23rd and 22nd. Northwestern, a perfect 5-0 at home and an imperfect 0-5 on the road. As I mentioned, they lost 5 straight on the road. Indiana just 4-6 in their last 10. They are 3-2 at home, though. We'll start with the matchup for Northwestern's offense, and I think I'd give the slight edge to Northwestern as far as the 4 factors go. Efficient field goal percentage is the most important stat. Indiana's 67, so they've contested shots well, and that's important. But after that, I mean, everything points to Northwestern. Rebounding, turnover margin, free throw rate, all goes to the Northwestern offense. But when we pull up the shot charts on this side of the court, I don't know if I like this matchup for Northwestern's offense as much as I thought. Look at the frequency numbers from the short mid-range, the long mid-range, and the above the break 3. 96, 95th, and 107. Basically, Northwestern takes a lot of jump shots. Look at the Indiana defensive numbers in the last 10 games here. That's exactly what they want you to do. Indiana's giving up a ton of jump shots. Look at the frequency numbers. A ton of jump shot attempts, but nobody's hitting them. Some solid-looking defensive efficiency numbers there for Indiana in those shot zones. The weakness of the Indiana defense has been at the basket, but you can see 59th in frequency, meaning their defense is centered around keeping you away from the rim, forcing you to take contested jump shots. Look at Northwestern's offensive numbers at the basket in the last 10. They're not getting anywhere near the rim. 315th in frequency, 305th in efficiency. Now let's flip it over and look at the matchup for Indiana's offense. Pretty even as far as the 4 factors on this side of the court. Northwestern definitely has the rebounding edge, but look at the free throw rate numbers. Indiana should definitely get plenty of opportunities from the foul line. Northwestern's been hacking everybody in the last 10 games, 356 in defensive free throw rate. But here was the icing on the cake for me. This is what finally pushed me over the edge and got me onto Indiana. Spoiler alert, I'm on Indiana. Look at Indiana's shot charts here. Offensively, they're 52nd in shot frequency at the rim, so they've been attacking the basket a lot. 36 in efficiency, so they've been good at it. Look at Northwestern's defense at the basket, 202nd and 235th in the last 10 games. And then you add on the fact that Indiana's got some pretty serious looking home away splits here. These are adjusted numbers too, if you don't know what adjusted numbers are. So these numbers are adjusted for strength of schedule. So basically, you got to be careful with these home away splits in college basketball, college football as well. As we all know, in November, December, a lot of these teams schedule these home games against really bad teams. So you look at the splits and you'll be like, oh, these teams are awesome at home. Well, it's because they played some seriously weak competition for the first 2 months of the season, and all those games were at home. So that's why I like to use adjusted metrics that attempt to compensate for that. But even the adjusted numbers here, the estimated net efficiency for Indiana on the road, a minus 3.3, at home plus 11.8. So nice looking home away splits for the Hoosiers, which is why Indiana is the move here. Northwestern's lost 5 straight on the road. Make it 6. Hoosiers minus 1.5 next game. I'm actually not going to go into the next game. It's Seton Hall at St. John's. Don't 100% understand the line. I feel like this should be 2.5. It's at 6. I don't know if Kadari Richmond's not going to play for Seton Hall. I don't really know what's going on here. So I don't want to give a bet out yet because I haven't bet it. Well, actually, I can't even bet this game. It's Seton Hall. I like betting St. John's at home, but 6 sounds crazy. So this is a pass for now. If you're in the Discord, I'll let you know if I find anything. If you want our top bets for all sports parlays of the day, or you'd like to join the Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. Sunday, decent amount of college basketball. I mean, obviously not completely loaded, but there's some action here. Let's pick our spots, bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.